stand with you. That's why we here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
I'm not gonna lie, this has to be one of the biggest liars I've ever seen. Because how do you manage to gaslight your whole community into believing the idea that this somehow is a natural accident? Nah, bro, this girl's a Joker level manipulator because we were not familiar with your game. I don't think a lot of people on the internet are talking about this incident enough. Not necessarily because of what took place, but perhaps the lack of moral principle behind what makes this whole thing such a huge deal on the internet. And if you have no idea about what I'm talking about, there's really not that much explanation that goes into this. This girl's going viral for assaulting an opponent during a state track meet. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't understand the intensity this kind of competition brings, as well as how deep a rivalry could really go. And with huge benefits like full ride scholarships on the line, winning a competition or simply just outperforming certain people can be a really big deal. And although unethical in the sporting realm, it's really not uncommon to see this kind of behavior in the athletic space. Situations like this occur at every distinctive level of a sport, no matter what sport it really is. But even with the sincerest of apologies, behavior like this is really frowned upon, because not only do you hurt someone else, you'd be hurting them to cheat at the expense of your advantage, which is really low. Now, not only did this girl assault an innocent track star just to move up on a pole, she tries to lie about it like we're all stupid.
I would never do that on purpose. That's not in my character. I was literally hitting the baton like this until she got a little ahead and my arm got stuck like this.
Buddy, that explanation is purely trash. For the life of me, I don't understand how our society evolved into one that people would rather lie and play victim than actually taking accountability for their wrongful actions. Like homegirl over here is literally reaching for the stars on some Tony Stark level explanation to justify her actions. Like dog, we all can see the video. We know you're lying. Then we got Unc on the left over here sweating his balls off to try and prove a whole bunch of nothing. That calls for an immediate timeout, bro.
Unnecessary dick riding, 10 yards.
Unc, we've all seen the video. We both know she's at fault. What are you doing? Even if you decided to double down on a blatant lie, why did you think it'd be a good idea to reenact what you know didn't happen? Like nobody's paying you to do any of this, bro. What a normal person should typically do is prioritize the victim in the situation, who is to my surprise taking it a lot better than I expected.
I was so in disbelief. I didn't even know. Like I didn't know what happened. I just like got hit in the head and I just fell off the track.
Even in our whole section, like the whole section just gasped. We had family come from out of town. Everybody just gasped because they couldn't believe it. And she does have a slight concussion, and still with the headaches. They did say she would have to be cleared 24 hours without a headache before they could clear her away from concussion. So no track right now. Also, they examined her where she was struck. It is swollen, and there is a possible fracture, skull fracture. Not sure yet. We'll have to wait till the swelling go down and possibly go back and do some imaging just to see exactly what that's going to be.
In all my years of collegiate track and field, I've never seen or heard of anybody accidentally hitting someone upside the head, because the positioning is so unnatural that you'd have to be an idiot to try and pass that off as an accident. Even if somehow you were able to miraculously convince people that your positioning was a complete accident, there's still a really big question of how hard you'd have to accidentally hit someone upside the head with a baton for them to be facing a possible cranial fracture.
I looked up how much a track baton weighed, and what I found out was that it was about like 50 grams or something. 50 grams is about 10 nickels, 10 US nickels. These are 10 nickels right here. 10 stacked US nickels. That girl Alila is delusional as hell.
To me, this explanation, besides multiple angles of video showing exactly what happened, is the clearest reason as to why this was not an accident. And that video seems to be the general consensus on the internet. Even without a detailed explanation like this, it's really just common sense. But what it seems to me is that accountability is just damn near impossible for some people. Because rather than just apologizing like a normal person would do, she drags the situation even further by having a whole meltdown on another interview about how people were constantly attacking her. And somehow she still pushes this narrative about how she has done nothing wrong and that her actions are completely justified.
Everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right? They're going off of one angle. A couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit. I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video.
Now, I'm no psychological expert or anything, but I know crocodile tears when I see one. I can't believe she just said we should be worried about her mental health more than the actual victim that she assaulted in broad daylight. The entitlement of this girl is insane. Now, I don't condone death threats of any kind, nor do I think it's acceptable in this situation or any situation at all.
They're calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video.
But I can't believe a word that comes out of this girl's mouth because of how willing she is to lie about something that is so obvious. People aren't mad at you because of a 9-second video. They're enraged because you injured an innocent girl because you couldn't accept the fact that she was better than you. It's also really important to understand that her doing things like lying on national TV and conducting interviews just to lie some more and use manipulative tactics to get people on her side is heavily sanctioned by her parents and people around her. It's really disappointing to see that the most dominant people in context of her life aren't doing anything to hold her accountable for her wrongful actions. Bro's just making a fool of himself as a father. Are you really telling me that you saw that video and you saw nothing wrong with what your daughter did? Or did you just think it was a great idea to accompany her on TV to tell lies? I mean, how this man has decided to handle this whole situation with his daughter has to be hands down one of the worst examples of being a parent. And this might be a crazy take, but how they've all collectively decided to handle this situation, to me, low-key highlights how she must have been raised. Entitlement like this isn't natural, nor is it learned overnight. If she's willing to go this far to get people on her side in a situation where she's clearly in the wrong, she's probably not used to a lot of people telling her that she's wrong. And her parents probably let her get away with a lot. I mean, it's no surprise that she thinks that every bit of what she's doing is okay. But it's honestly crazy how her and her parents are so focused on getting enough people on their side that they're yet to even address the victim in question.
We stand with you. That's why we're here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
I've seen delusional people in my lifetime, but hosting a whole rally to support your delusions when there's clear evidence to literally show that you're at fault is just insanity. I'm having great trouble understanding who all made it to this rally. Does everybody out here attending this have a full set of chromosomes? Or do we not all have access to the same video? Because why would we be promoting assault and the lack of accountability? This is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation as to why one would attend a rally in support of assault, especially with a victim that is being super reasonable in a situation that they don't have to. I find it really funny that on her own crusade to sympathy and innocence, she is yet to address the effects that her actions had on the victim one time. Which brings me to my final point. Even if this was an accident, a normal person would give a sincere apology for any harm they've caused, along with the explanation of how their actions were unintentional, because it at least shows that they acknowledge the effects that they unintentionally caused. This girl did none of that. Instead, she looked to deceive and cry her way out of responsibility. Overall, this girl has to be the most pathetic girl I've seen all year. She highlights everything that you shouldn't be as a human being. And the part that really makes my blood boil the most is that this whole thing could have all been avoided with a simple apology. All the victim's family really wanted was a sincere apology. And not only did she think she was too big to apologize for the injury that she had inflicted upon the victim, she has gone beyond great lengths to publicly victimize herself for sympathy. And that to me is a real reflection of a terrible person. Anyways, please drop a like if you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear your comments on the topic down below, and make sure to sub for more content like this.